Alright, it's alright, big girl. Alright. LB and I are out today. We're riding. Try and go somewhere a little bit different today than where we normally ride at. This path, I've been down it before on the Rancher. It's been a while though. See what's going on this side. I'm ready to come up to a little creek crossing here. Creek's got rocks in the bottom of it. It's not usually too bad. It can be pretty deep, you know, just depending on how much rain we've had. We had a little bit this week. Good. You got it. Let's go ahead. Come on. Check it out. All right. Get you a drink. All right. I say you got it. All right. Let's walk. Walk. Good girl. Good job. Good job. Good job. That water cold on your feet, girl. Water cold on your feet. I bet it was. Over here on the left-hand side, many years ago, there remains of an old fence that kind of ran along the side here, and that used to be an old hog pen, and of course that's been a while back, you know. From what I was told, you know, horses don't like hogs. They're terrified of them. I think, you know, it has something to do with the sound, you know, they make and the smell naturally. Horses just don't like them. But anyway, I was told, you know, people who used to ride through here, you know, years ago, that it was really hard riding through here when those hogs were out there because, you know, the horses would just get to acting crazy, you know. Thankfully, we don't have that to worry about right now. This trail right here, it's usually pretty quiet, but it can be real muddy, as you can see. Usually, you know, after hunting season, it's always muddy like this, and can be even worse. Just walk, sweetheart. It's all right. You got it. Walk, walk. Good girl. Very good. Very good. Okay, stay straight, sweetie. Stay straight. All right. All right. You got it, girl. You got it. Back when I first got B and first started riding all these trails that I typically ride on, this was the path I always used to get in here. It wasn't because it was the one that I really wanted to use, because it was always real muddy. In fact, it was a lot worse than this when we would ride back here. You know, a few years ago, but it was the only way in there, you know, that was you were allowed to, you know, to travel. So just walk, girl, walk. But typically I don't like coming down, especially with B, you know, because it's a little hard sometimes for her to get her footing on it. Slow down, slow down. But even now, it's not as bad as what it used to be, because even last year it was a lot worse than that. This little section through here has never been too bad, really. It's always stayed fairly dry, but back where we just came through, usually it's pretty wet. And then as we round this corner up here to the left, it'll be, it's probably, you know, it stays wet through there even through the summer months. Big old mud holes hold water real bad. Got it, girl. Gonna take a break? Okay. Alright. You ready? Good girl. It's a little colder today, and not real cold. It's in the low 50s or high 40s, I should say. Cold enough for me, though. You know, we hadn't been this way ever since back during the summertime. These are some of the bigger mud holes I was speaking of a few minutes ago. There's the big monster hole. Which side you want to go on, girl? On the left side. Alright. My foot hung in a vine back there, girl. A lot of people would make their horses walk right through the middle of one of those mud holes, but me personally, it's not necessary if I can get around the side of it. And I know B would prefer not to. Let's take us a left, big girl. Good left. Come on. Run up through here. Good girl, good girl. Good job, Miss B. Somebody's come through here and mowed this path down back during the summertime. It was pretty grown up through here. I come through here and bush hogged it with a tractor. Got it, girl. You got it. This path will put us out eventually up at the combine graveyard, they call it. And what that is, you know, it's a scrap yard for combines. They salvage parts off of them, you know, engines, tires, and anything really that's usable, and they sell it to the general public, people, farmers and stuff who, you know, They farm grain products and soybeans, corn, things like that that use combines. Some of these combines date back, you know, to the 70s and stuff like that, and I guess the parts are obsolete, maybe from the manufacturer, and the guy that runs the business, he sells his salvage parts to people, you know, so that seems to be a pretty good business for him, though, because this, you know, area isn't real big on grain products. I mean, it's, you know, it's out here, but it's not like it is out Midwest and stuff, you know, where you have in those states and things like that. So I guess the parts are a little harder to come by, and I guess that's why his business does as good as what it does, because he's able to get these parts to the people around here that do farm grain, and corn, and soybean products. Doing good, girl. Good job. Your neck's so warm. Yeah, my hands were that warm. Yeah. Hopefully now I'm gonna be able to get Bee out more often, and, you know, get her some exercise. And she needs to tone up a little bit, if you know what I mean. She's, you know, during hunting season, it's hard to ride her as much, you know, and you know, they tend, you know, horses, if they got an ample food source, they tend to put on a little weight, you know, so she could stand to trim down a little bit, and hopefully she'll be able to do that. You know, we're able to get out here more. Now you got, you know, just like we're out here today. Today's Saturday, you know, before first of the year, you know, Saturday was a day that the hunters would normally be out, and so now that the deer season went out for this go round, we're able to get out here on Saturday and hit the trails, which is good. Good girl. Oh, sweetie. Come on. This property right here belongs to the man who owns this combine salvage business. These buildings up here are his, you know, his shops and things, and shelter, you know, he houses spare parts and things up under. And, you know, off in the distance there, you can see all the combines. We'll make our way up there eventually. You can get a closer look. But these fields right here typically are planted in tobacco. During the summer months, he leases that out to a couple of farmers, and they come in here and plant their crop on it, and you know, lease the land from them, you know. Doing good. Alright. Stay straight, alright? Stay straight. Sun was out when we first started riding. It's kind of gotten a little cloudy now. Seems to be the name of the game here lately. Can't get a whole lot of sun out. Expect if it was out, it would be a little bit warmer. And man, he does his sandblasting right there. You can see the sandbags and all. He sandblasts, you know, these rusty parts off these machines, and so that they're more usable. People he's selling them to. Right over this way, girl, maybe you can see some of the engines. Alright. I don't know if you can see up under there some of the spare engines and stuff that have been taken out of the machines that are over here from the salvage yard. Sounds like I hear a four-wheeler, girl. What do you think? You hear one? Can't see it though. That's Come on, girl. Come over. You got it. Some of these parts laying on the ground here are the chutes, or I don't know the exact name for them, but you know, the part that goes on the front of the combine that harvests the product, you know, crop, I mean. There are various different ones, you know, ones for, you know, grain, and then others are for corn harvesting. Some of these machines actually say soybean special on them, you know. That's kind of their specialty, but there's a bunch of them out here though. These in the back here are more, like I said, the ones that date back to the 70s, 1970s, you know, models. They're like much more primitive looking. Some of these machines have actually caught on fire, and that's the reason they're been out here, put out here in this salvage yard. Because, you know, once they catch on fire, they burn up pretty quick. Seems to be a pretty common thing for combines. They, you know, they're out there, you know, harvesting a dry crop, and it's a lot of dust, you know, and debris and stuff gets clogged up in the machine. It poses a pretty big threat for fire, and a lot of times it's not uncommon to see these things sitting out in the middle of a farmer's field somewhere, just engulfed in flames. Most farmers, what I've been told, and that's out, Midwest, I mean, that's common, but I think most of the farmers, from what I hear, when that happens, they just leave the machine sitting out there, and it's, and that's where they leave it at, and then, people like this man here that runs a salvage yard, they'll travel out there and they'll come and load the machine up and haul it back to their salvage yard, and, they'll start taking it apart and try and get the usable pieces off of it, and, and try and sell some of them to the public who need replacement parts, and that's kind of the cycle, I guess, that these machines, the life they live. And like I said, a lot of them don't last that long because they end up catching on fire or just giving out. They're, like I said, they're in a real dusty environment, and the engines, typically they ingest a lot of dust, so they don't last very long. I'm getting ready to pass a cow farm right here. Bees checking out cows. Probably can't make them out on camera, but they're out there. Come on, baby. Come on. You've seen them before, alright? You've seen them all before. Come on.